In this video, I'll show you how to create a website, push your code to GitHub, deploy it on Vercel, connect a custom domain, and get it indexed on Google search. First, you'll need your website code. Check out my other video where I show how to build a registration form using HTML and CSS. In this example, I've kept everything inside one HTML file, including the styling. But you can also split it into separate HTML and CSS files. It just depends on how you want to organize your project. First, let's understand why keep HTML and CSS together in one file. For small projects or beginner-level websites, it's faster and simpler. Everything is in one place, so you don't have to switch between files. It's easier to experiment, test designs quickly, and understand how the structure and styling work together. When you separate them, your HTML file focuses only on structure, while your CSS file handles styling. This makes your code cleaner, easier to maintain, and more scalable. It also allows you to reuse the same CSS file across multiple pages, which saves time and keeps your design consistent. The next step is to upload your code to a GitHub repository. Create a GitHub account. Once you're signed in, go to the GitHub dashboard and click on New Repository. Give your repository a name, for example, your project name, and make sure it is set to public so it can be deployed later. After creating the repository, the next step is to upload your files. In this example, we are using a simple index.html file. You can either drag and drop your files directly into the GitHub upload area, or use the upload option to select them from your computer. Just make sure your main file is named index.html, because this is what the browser will load first. Once you've uploaded your file, scroll down and click Commit Changes. This will save your code into the repository. Now your project is stored on GitHub, which is an important step because platforms like Vercel will use this repository to deploy your website online. Next, you need to choose a web hosting platform. Check out our other videos on the channel where we compare different hosting platforms and help you choose the one that suits your needs best. In this example, we'll be using Vercel. Once you open Vercel, sign in with your account and click on New Project. From there, you'll see an option to import a GitHub repository. Now connect your GitHub account to Vercel if you haven't already. After that, you'll be able to see all your repositories. Simply click on the repository that contains your website code, the one you uploaded earlier. Once you select it, Vercel will automatically detect your project and begin the deployment process. You don't need to manually configure anything in most cases. Just click Deploy, and within a few moments, your website will go live on a Vercel link. At this point, your website is officially online and accessible through the internet. The next step is to visit your website online. Once the deployment is finished, Vercel will automatically take you to your project dashboard. Click on Go to Dashboard to continue. Inside the dashboard, you'll see your latest deployment. This shows the build process and confirms that your website has been successfully deployed. Now click on the generated project link or the preview URL. This will open your website in a new tab, showing the live version of your project. Once everything is completed, you can set up your custom domain. In Vercel, go to the Domains section inside your project dashboard. From there, you can either add a domain you already own or purchase one through a domain provider and connect it to your project. After your domain is connected, the next important step is to get your website indexed on Google. To do this, go to Google Search Console and sign in with your Google account. Once inside Search Console, click on Add Property and enter your website URL. After that, you'll need to verify ownership of your site, which Vercel can help you do easily by adding a DNS record or verification code. After verification, submit your sitemap or request indexing directly by entering your URL. This tells Google to crawl your website and include it in search results. Once this is done, your website is fully live with a custom domain and can appear on Google search. In this video, you learned how to take a website from code to a live site online. We created or used HTML and CSS, uploaded the project to GitHub, and deployed it using Vercel to get a live website link. Then we covered how to add a custom domain and submit the site to Google Search Console so it can be indexed and appear in search results. By the end, your website is live, hosted, and discoverable on search engines.